At LG's new, well, not so new right now, 17-inch Gram. This version of the Gram has a 16 by 10 aspect ratio, QHD high resolution screen, and yet is incredibly light at only 1.34 kilograms. We'll look into if this weight-saving measures has any downsides and if it is worth buying. The overall design of the 17-inch Gram looks almost identical to last year's 15-inch Gram, only a bit bigger. The device is made from magnesium alloy with a blasted finish, allowing it to be incredibly lightweight. The 17-inch Gram comes in at only 1.34 kilograms, which is lighter than most 15.6-inch devices. The bezels are also very slim, making it a somewhat 15-inch-like form factor and quite portable. The display, albeit with white balance issues, is great overall. It's a 17.0-inch 2560 by 1600 panel with a 16 by 10 aspect ratio. Compared to the 15-inch laptops, the screen is 23% bigger. It is also a bit taller than a 16 by 9 screen, so you will see letterboxing when playing 16 by 9 content. However, the extra height is useful for multitasking. The display contrast is excellent at 1170:1, and brightness is good at 300 nits. However, the panel is quite glossy with poor anti-glare coating, so it's not too great for outdoors use. The screen covers 97% of the sRGB color gamut. However, LG did not calibrate the display properly and colors are not accurate out of the box. Also, the white balance is visibly shifted to green, which may be annoying when working with multiple monitors but can be calibrated easily with a display calibrator. Therefore, you will need to calibrate the screen before doing any critical color editing on this machine. The display, due to its high resolution, is very crisp and the extra pixels are useful for creating content and multitasking. The high resolution display allows for better visibility with smaller fonts, allowing you to display more content on the screen. To really take advantage of the high resolution, we recommend changing display scaling to 125% from the screen's native 150%. Now, coming into performance, the Gram 17 performs better than last year's 15-inch model due to improvements in power efficiency and fan speed. However, the Gram CPU still runs very hot at 86 to 90 degrees and throttles under extended load. Under load, the CPU maintains 2.4 GHz boost, but reaches 90 degrees in less than 10 minutes and performance is degraded due to throttling. What's interesting about this device is that it performs better on battery. This is because additional heat from charging makes the CPU go beyond its thermal limit, degrading its performance by about 10%. Therefore, the Gram 17-inch performance isn't cut out for any video editing or 3D modeling. Another problem is the surface temperature under load. The device's keyboard gets uncomfortably hot during load, hotter than most gaming laptops, and rather uncomfortable to touch. Of course, you can pair it with an external GPU at your home or office for more serious work and use it for light work on the go. However, the CPU performance isn't too convincing and will suffer under CPU-intensive tasks. The Gram's upgradability is very good, especially for an Ultrabook. LG offers an additional DIMM slot for easy upgradability, unlike in many Ultrabooks. Also, there is an additional NVMe slot. However, for the sake of cost and power efficiency, we recommend you stick with a single high-capacity drive instead of sticking on an extra drive. As for input and output, Gram 17 has plenty of ports. It features 3 USB-A ports, 1 Thunderbolt 3 port, power HDMI, and a microSD port. While there is a dedicated power input, the USB-C port doubles as a charging port and supports USB PD fast charging for both charging the laptop and giving power to your phone. This feature is useful as you can use a USB-C to C cable to charge your phone on the go. An upgrade from last year's i5 models is the inclusion of Thunderbolt 3, which allows it to connect to an external GPU, but the performance is quite middling due to its high thermals and throttling. In the battery life department, the Gram 17 still uses the same 72 Wh battery as 15 and 14-inch models. Initially, we thought the battery life would suffer as LG didn't put a bigger battery despite the bump in screen size and resolution. Thankfully, both the display and the processor are very efficient, allowing it to achieve a very respectable battery life. We tested battery life through PCMark battery test, video playback, and web browsing test. In video playback, where the power consumption of the screen is the biggest factor, Gram 17-inch achieved 13 hours. This is about 15% less than last year's Gram 15-inch with Kaby Lake R processor. In situations with more load, as in PCMark battery test, the Gram 17-inch only lost about 5% due to Whiskey Lake's improved power management. Therefore, the battery life is still excellent even when compared to other Ultrabooks, as the Gram 15, which was already very good last year. Gram's keyboard remains unchanged since 2016 and is arguably one of the weakest parts of the laptop. The familiar lack of travel and the hard bottom out puts a fair bit of pressure on your hands when typing. I found it fatiguing for long typing sessions. Also, the key sizes are slightly smaller than full size, which is weird considering its 17-inch form factor, but can be understood as a weight-saving measure. The enter key and the keys in the backspace row are particularly small, which might take some time getting used to. The trackpad, however, while still not being glass, has been improved. It does not stick to your fingers as much as last year and is much smoother. It is also quite bigger, making it easier to navigate the large 17-inch screen. The speaker unit is unchanged from last year. The tonal balance is that of a typical Ultrabook with mediocre bass and tinny highs. A glaring issue on the speaker department is the distortion in the 400 to 800 Hz range. This is a result of the keyboard and the speaker rattling, and was a big problem in the last year's model. Although the Gram 17-inch distorts less, it still distorts a fair amount, and LG still wasn't able to tackle the problems. There is also a noticeable distortion in the 10 kHz range, and the volume of the highs change constantly based on tonal balance. These findings point to a serious issue in how the speaker interacts with the chassis, making the speakers, well, rather unbearable to listen to in music. There will be a speaker test which is performed using the, measurement microphone. In conclusion, the Gram 17 shows us that a gram is a gram no matter what the size. Although there were improvements, the CPU still runs hot and throttles. Long typing sessions are still tiring and the screen is still very glossy. Also, the speaker actually managed to degrade in sound quality over the previous generations. However, on the upside, battery life is still spectacular despite the 17-inch high-res display. It is still very light as a gram should be, and it is portable at 1.3 kilograms and is also mil-spec certified. Moreover, the beautiful high-resolution screen is great for media consumption, editing photos, and multitasking. All in all, the Gram 17 is one of the best laptops for media consumption and light work on the go. LG has struck a fine balance between size and portability once again, and if you want a lightweight laptop with a good battery and good display, there are not many alternatives. This was John Skirt, and thank you for watching.